It's common for businesses to review their management accounts monthly out of habit, but habit isn't a strategy. So the right frequency depends on your business and not an arbitrary date in the calendar. So here's the direct answer. Your calendar is the wrong starting point. The right trigger for a management accounts review isn't a date, it's a decision. Management accounts exist for one purpose: to give decision makers current visibility on cash, trading performance, and direction. If you're not facing a decision that requires current numbers, a review may add no value at all. Review too rarely, and you're already making hiring, spending, or growth decisions on stale data. Review too often with nothing to anchor it, and you're burning time on a ritual that produces no action. Either way, the accounts stop doing their job. So, the first question to ask isn't how often, it's what decisions are you regularly making that need current financial visibility. And in practice, there's two types of trigger that should drive your cadence. The first is calendar-based, and it's set by volatility. So ask yourself, how quickly can your cash position or trading performance shift materially? A retail business with tight margins and seasonal peaks can move from healthy to stretched within weeks. So therefore, monthly reviews may make sense. A consultancy with stable, recurring billings and low overheads might find quarterly reviews entirely sufficient, because the numbers simply don't move fast enough to justify more attention. The second trigger is event-driven, and it applies regardless of where you are in your calendar cycle. It could be before a funding conversation, then review them. It could be before signing a large contract, then review it. It could be before a significant hire. If a key metric breaks a threshold you've set, say gross margin drops or debt days creep up, then have a review. Think of the calendar cadence as your baseline and event triggers as the override. A stable business on a quarterly cycle should still pull the accounts before any decision that commits meaningful resource. The two work together, not in competition. It's worth being honest about the counterpoint here. More frequent reviews are not automatically better. If your numbers haven't moved materially and no decision is pending, a review meeting is perhaps overhead, not insight. You're paying someone to prepare the accounts, spending time to read them, and walking away with nothing to act on. That's a cost with no return. The risk of over-reviewing is that it trains you to treat the process as routine rather than purposeful. When every review looks the same, you stop really interrogating the numbers. Frequency is only useful when it's anchored to action. So if you're currently reviewing monthly and consistently finding nothing to act on or interesting, well, that's a signal that your cadence may be too high for your current business condition. It's not a sign that everything is okay. Here's the rule of thumb you can apply straight away. If your cash or trading position can shift materially within a month, review it monthly. If conditions are stable and decisions are infrequent, then quarterly is likely sufficient. But always review before any significant decision: a hire, a contract, a funding round, a budget commitment, regardless of where you are in the schedule. And when you sit down to review them, come with a question, not just, hey, let's look at the numbers, but what am I deciding, and do these numbers change that decision? That reframes, turns a reporting ritual into a decision tool. So stop asking when your next review is and start asking what decision you're reviewing for. If that was of value, subscribe to the channel for one real business question answered every video. For the same clarity in writing, the website and newsletter is 5minutebusiness.com.